Hello, and welcome to the Black Diamond podcast. Today, I'm joined by my co-host
Cameron Lockbour.
and our guest.
Phil Kaplanis.
So, Phil, for our viewers, we have a complicated history, don't we?
Yeah.
So for the viewers, Phil, I don't know, how long were you my unfortunate direct report?
9 months.
9 months. You just counted it to like the minute or like just the hour?
No.
Tell us a little bit about your journey. So we mostly have people that have generally only been in industry.
Yeah.
You've had a varied career. Could you give us a little background on
So
that?
I started my OneStream journey right out of college. I stumbled into the career. I didn't know since from a young age I wanted to be a CPM consultant or anything like that. I started right out of college doing OneStream consulting, and from there worked at a Diamond partner in Proficient for 2.5 years, and then kind of got really honed in my admin skills there, and learned a lot about business rules. Because the technology side always really spoke to me, and it was really intuitive for me to kind of get good at that stuff, and the finances I always had to work at. And so I got really good at the admin side of things while I was consulting at Proficient, but then wanted to get closer to kind of those FP&A processes, so I moved back into industry. And then I was blown away by the BDA solutions, and I was like, man, this stuff is really cool. I want to work on the team that develops this stuff. And so I was able to get that opportunity under you and Celvin.
Gotcha. So at Unifi, you guys have had OneStream for quite a while,
Yeah,
right?
so we've had it since 2020. Our OneStream journey started, we implemented the accordion rolling forecast from BDA for our core business. Our company, we're Unifi, we're a aviation services provider. I'm a FinTech Manager there, primarily over OneStream, NetSuite, and now our procure-to-pay system, Zip, getting more involved into those systems. But yeah, we've had OneStream for 5 years. We initially implemented it with the accordion rolling forecast to do our revenue planning as well as compensation planning. A lot of our P&L is labor-based. We can contract. All of our work is contract-based. You can think of us as we do everything at airports all throughout United States, Canada, and the UK. We do everything except for actually fly the plane, and we are able to plan at a contract-by-contract level with the accordion rolling forecast from BDA.
So a lot of my baggages and all of that, when I'm always fretting and waiting for it, it's because Unifi is helping getting that all smoothed out. Is that
Does Unifi actually run part of that, the luggage handling bit?
Yeah,
as well?
we do. So yeah, it depends on the airport and depends on the customer. We do work for all domestic airlines here. So Delta's our biggest customer. We used to be an arm of Delta's business, and it was sold off so that we could gain other market share, and it spun off to Unifi in 2020, and that's when we looked for a good planning tool, and that was OneStream for us.
So can you talk a little bit about accordion, how today your users are using it, and what's the value that it brought to Unifi?
Yeah, so we have a very detailed forecasting model, and our users are able to kind of plan all of our different revenue types. We get revenue. We earn revenue in many different ways, like departure-based revenue. That really helps us. We're able to plan our flight counts for different airports, for different customers, and what services we provide to them. And so we're able to have the specific bill rate that we use for that specific flight count, and we're able to plan our revenue for departure-based, hourly, so we're able to figure out the amount of hours we use in labor and the bill rates that we charge for those hours, and then that immediately rolls into our labor. So how many hours are we using for labor? What is the cost we have for each of those positions that we have at our airports? And then that kind of rolls into our non-comp expenses, and we do allocations, because a lot of the time we don't want to have a separate workforce at an airport for different customers, and so we have a contract code, and those expenses all hit that contract code, and we allocate those expenses out to different contracts based off of maybe a factor, right? So that's kind of how we use it today. And our users just go in and they plan contract by contract, and it's good for them to get the level of granularity that our VP of Finance needs, right? Kind of following up with what Tom said in the keynote yesterday, right? There's only more uncertainty and only more detail that's needed by the finance organization. So they're able to plan at that level of detail. And so we've implemented it for our core business, and we're hoping to do more, because we grow by acquisition, and we've acquired a number of businesses over the last few years, and we want to get them incorporated into our planning tool.
So you mentioned the keynote yesterday.
Yeah.
And Tom Shea, the CEO of OneStream, it was almost entirely all about AI.
Yeah.
What's your take on it? What's your take on how that will impact your OneStream implementation and your work?
Well,
It's not just that.
Well, I hope it speeds it up, right? Like, definitely, if there's anything AI can do to make the configuration easier, I know it'll help end users to probably get those deep insights. Like those agents are really attractive. I don't know how it's implemented. Sometimes for me,
I wonder if anybody understands how to do that.
right. I don't know how sometimes it'll come together into our OneStream instance. It seems like, from the keynote yesterday, there was like a little button on the corner of browser UX. We're a big browser UX user at all of our airports. And so if it integrates that way, that'd be great. But for my job in particular, hopefully it makes it a lot quicker, faster, and we can drive more insights because, we're a small team. We're a very lean organization on the OneStream side. And so anything to make that easier on us is really good. We can deliver more value quicker.
So, one of the things I've always kind of believed is if the users, particularly in a planning system, if the people that are doing the planning don't understand where the numbers come from, then do they really trust it?
Yeah.
With AI, people are it's a black box, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think? How do you think your users will react to that? This is their job, right? And OneStream is a tool, but their job is to plan.
I think they'll love it. Like one of the things we talked about is my consulting background and industry, and one of the things one of the stark differences I noticed was that in consulting, everybody kind of knows how OneStream works, but in the industry world, it's not really that way. And people need to be trained. You need to get them in there early and often. I think giving them that transparency, kind of what Tom Shea said, secure, transparent, and understandability is huge. And if we can give that insight to our planners, like that would be awesome and a big win for us. Because in some areas of our application, it's kind of hard to understand where the numbers are coming from, right? Especially when we have complex allocation logic like we have at the end of our forecast.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what about, I heard a lot about the fact that you've been doing consolidations and planning, and now you got your core setups done. And it also sounds like you do a lot of acquisitions. So have you been, in your new role, bringing in those new acquired companies into OneStream and adding them onto the current planning solutions that you already put up there? Or can you talk a little bit about that? Like how is that journey?
So we're currently in the discovery phase with our organizations. We have different planners at these different places, and we're kind of putting together our roadmap for which organization we want to get integrated first, and then we're going to go and have sessions with that person, get there, kind of like my consulting experience, develop those requirements and design, documents. So you get it all out on paper, rationalize the data flow, understand what that user is doing, and then try to implement it in there. So I think that we'll probably first start off with, those users that understand their process the best. Maybe we have a business at Chicago O'Hare for cleaning services. They probably will be first. And then we have another business called ERMC, which is maintenance for Southwest aircrafts. And so I think they'll be second, but just kind of rolling them in as quickly as we can, and hopefully, maybe by the end of the year, maybe by middle of next year. That would be our ideal timeline.
So that's a horizontal expansion of use of OneStream within your firm. Let's using horizontal and vertical being the other side. Where do you see expansion? And I don't mean across business units, but where is OneStream going to go in your firm?
Our firm, we hope to use AI. I think that's been a big use case for us and something that we were interested in. Like I said, we're still in the discovery phase. We don't really know how it's going to come together, but something that's big for us is, like I said earlier, our departure-based contracts are huge for us. And so being able to understand, if AI could help us develop a more accurate flight forecast for each of those planning periods that we have, determining what flights will come in for what airports for what customer, and that's more accurate for us and more transparent. Because flights, it depends. It's an intuitive use case, right? Like weather could easily like affect it. And
the events that are out there that you could use,
right? And
you can see that with OneStream building an AI library, you could take advantage of some of those elements.
Yeah, that would be huge. Just departure-based revenue for us would be a great driver, just because of how more accurate potentially our volume forecast could be.
Is this AI interest driven from the top down?
Yes.
So your CFO, whoever the person is,
yes,
he or she's the one that's really interested in.
Yeah.
Is it organic? I mean, you read the press, right? You follow this stuff. AI is ubiquitous across all sorts of industries and across all sorts of products.
Yeah, I would say that it definitely is organic. Like there was no convincing from our side to say, hey, you should be interested in this. I think that actually he put out a challenge, like if you can implement AI in one part of our business by the end of the year, we'll get some sort of bonus and stuff. So he's always like on the cutting edge. I think we're actually working directly with Microsoft on some AI tools, and so like they already had that program going with our IT department, and so when it comes to OneStream, and if we lay out that AI roadmap, I know that they kind of jump on really quickly because they see the value in it and how it's going to change the forecasting landscape in particularly, right? So they see the value in it for sure.
Has there been anything else that you heard yesterday apart from AI
Right.
that's interesting you?
Yeah, many things, right? So like I said, I'll just go through the list. So version 9, they said that browser UX is going to be 2 times as fast. We're big browser UX, user. We deliver our financial reporting to all of our airports. Our station managers, the people that lead the airports, the operations folks. We're going to be giving them, we give them our dashboards through browser UX, and 2 times fast on that would be great because we have big cube views, and if they can render quicker, that would be of use to us, as well as Genesis. I was fortunate enough to actually work with OneStream to get a demo of Genesis UX or a couple of weeks back, and it looked great. And then to see them officially announce it, that was awesome. And anything can help us on the developer side. That's kind of where my heart lies. Right. In general, and so anything that could help us on that side, and like I said, we're lean on the OneStream skill set side, so anybody that could come and pick up, be able to build a dashboard quickly that could be of use to our end users is something that's very attractive to us. And CPM Express, maybe that would help with our integration of our new subsidiaries that we've picked up recently. So I'm interested to see how that comes together.
Interesting, fascinating. So you spoke about that, as Cameron alluded to, like you kind of wore different hats throughout.
Yeah.
What would you recommend now to anybody who's starting their OneStream journey, being in both scenarios now? You've been a consultant as well as an industry.
Right.
What would you recommend?
So from the consultant side of me says, ask a lot of questions to your consultants. Be curious about the requirements you're giving them. Keep it simple. Like don't spend 80% of the development time on just 10% of the value, right? Like keep it realistic, and ask a lot of questions to them, and really focus on your design, because those are the things that you really can't change after you've been live. They're a bit more expensive to change, and so really understand kind of the data flow and the dimensions you're using, and understanding the level of detail that you're doing things at. From the industry side of things, I would say focus on training. Training is a big thing that we try to preach in our organization. It's something we're continuously trying to get better at. So focus on training your users. OneStream's not easy, can be intimidating to a new user. I think kind of communicating the value to them, like it's hard to pry Excel out of a finance person's hands, right? But that's kind of our burden to take on. But if you can preach to them the value and then also train them to empower them, I think that's something that we're still trying to do better at. I think that if you bring them in early enough, that would be of use to you.
You mentioned the word design, and I think my take on design.
Right.
Would you, without quoting me, because I don't think you agree at all, would you talk a little bit about the importance of design? To me, if the design is not right, if it isn't largely nailed down at the beginning, it's just trying to stitch together sort of a train wreck.
Right. Well, yeah, the design is absolutely important. I mean, I've come from consulting experiences where the design was just, hey, we built this document, nobody checked it over, and now we're just immediately starting to build things in OneStream. I think one of the big things that stood out to me when I came to work at BDA was that you force this quality control within the organization by presenting a design to this group of people and experts, and they poke holes in it and make sure that you have a good design. It's just really big because, like I said, it can be expensive to change a design, and your data flow is really important for you to really understand. And so to having your consultant go to bat for you in a big group of people and defend what they're trying to do is really important.
Well, thank you so much for being a guest, and thank you for agreeing to talk to your ex-boss. I really truly do appreciate that. Not a lot of people would do that.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed my time.
Yes. So thank you again.
I've heard consulting be referred to as the dark side a few times. But it's.
We are partners with clients. If we aren't partners, then we don't have a business. Like literally, we don't have a job. So
definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and hopefully it was value to your audience.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.